Screw that up. And welcome to another exciting episode of the $1 Million Peddlers. I'm Paper Guy.
I'm Mr. Magazine.
And it's the Hump Day Happy Hour Salute. And I really have to change this. We did not enjoy.
It seems like the same one every week. The taste is the same. It's terrible.
It's different terrible one every week. This was Brugal XV or Brugal 15.
It was brutal. You're right.
Not brutal, Brugal.
Oh, okay, sorry.
Brugal, exactly. Shout out to good friend of the channel, Primetime Treasure Hunter, with his live show after ours. Check him out today at 9 o'clock. It's Richie Hustles. With
rich people that are hustlers?
Now this guy supposedly does a lot of RA from Walmart and that sort of thing.
Oh, okay. Return authorization?
That would be it.
Oh,
and we got a few people here.
We do, and because ladies are first, the magnificent Lori's in the house, along with the magnificent Michael Sanborn and magnificent Michael Geneva.
Nice.
All right. We're ready to rock.
We are ready to
Three
rock.
for three, and that is it. Let's roll them.
There we go.
Oh, Dave's in the house. Magnificent Dave, how's it going?
Nice. Alrighty, so we'll just jump right into the show because this is going to be a jam-packed show this week.
Oh, really?
You act more surprised than anybody.
Ginny S. Magnificent Ginny S. is in the house. I can do this all night long. So at least till 8:45.
I already know the answers, but I'm going to ask everybody out there, how are your sales? And I'm going to ask you, Mr. Magazine.
Well, surprisingly, I can't remember what I said last week, but my eBay's up and my Amazon's down. So that's a little different. Threw a little curveball there. But eBay's only up because I got things on sale and I'm taking lower offers because I need to buy inventory. So I can't buy a lot of inventory without money coming in. And that's how I work it out.
Because I been reading on Instagram, and a lot of people are talking about sales being absolutely terrible. The entire Instagram feed, everybody is telling, sales are horrible, horrible, horrible. I had avoided the trend until Saturday night, Sunday morning, and then I believe in daylight savings time, because ever since we've been in daylight savings time, I have made almost no sales. I did not.
Like daylight losing money time.
I did not. Now, I've got 18,000 items up, a little more than 18,000 items up on eBay. I did not have to find an item to pack that sold on Sunday until 3 o'clock in the afternoon. That was 15 hours before, 14 because of the daylight savings time.
Yeah.
But 14 hours with no sales with 18,000 items.
Went back to bed. Jeez.
So it was bad. So I wonder if anybody else out there, how anybody else
Forrest is in the
doing.
house. I think he's doing good because he's got some mosaic football. So good for you as well. Local Joe Losey's in the house. Can't wait for the show. Well, here it is.
Yeah.
Cards for Kids Oregon. Long-time listener. All right. Appreciate it. Ginny's still here. Lori's still here. And local Ron's in the house. Lovely Michelle. Magnificent Michelle's in the house. And Magnificent Michael's still here. Good for you.
Nice. They tell us how the sales are. Or you just
right now, let's see. Lori says pretty bad.
Pretty bad. Okay.
We have Michael's kind of slow.
Okay. Keep on
Michelle's,
pushing on. Yep.
Michelle's got 11K.
One sale today. Oh.
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah.
Crazy.
I've got 18,000 and I am crushing you, Michelle. I've got 3 sales. Oh, it is not good. Only had 4 sales all weekend. Normally a 15 plus. Worst weekend in a long time.
It's for everyone. Don't feel bad. It's going around.
No, I not that I'm glad to hear that, but as they say, misery loves company. Because
it makes sense.
Because, one thing, though, that ends up happening is, let's say that I come on here and I say my sales are abysmal, and that entire feed people are going, oh my gosh, I can't keep stuff in stock.
Yeah, you think you're doing something wrong.
Then you start wondering, am I on double secret probation? What exactly is going on? So it sounds like most of us are in the same boat.
Don't do it. Don't do it.
With free shipping, I hope.
Well, I think because sales are dismal, I'm selling like high-end stuff at a discount just because I need to get some money coming in. So not that I want to do it, but if I got a collection here and there and I got to come up with 10, 15,000, I can't do it off sales unless I start moving some stuff. So.
Well, even on that, though, if you've got better stuff coming in and you have the need for the money, not that you want to do it, but you can actually sell things at a loss, even though you don't want to do it.
Oh, yeah. If I'm buying stuff at 10 cents on the dollar and I got a $100,000 collection coming in for 10 grand, I could sell a $300 card for 200 And
You
even if I break even, I generally don't lose money, but I might not be making much. But right, exactly. I'm got income coming in where I can buy this collection without tapping into my, my reserve, I guess. So.
Well, you also though have the employees and all that stuff.
True.
A lot of us don't have those expenses, so we can at least tighten our belts a little bit, which kind of is going to be some of the things we're talking about a little later in the show, in the main part of the show.
Yeah, I'm the same as Cards for Kids. Same thing. I put stuff on sale. I got a lot of items. I'm going to sell more. It's just how it is.
Yeah. Yep. I made a note that I meant to talk about. This may start weeding out some of the competition. Yeah. This was before this week. I was going to say this last week, and I forgot to mention it. My total item sales, now this was before this week, were down 33% from last year, but my dollar-wise was the same. So higher ticket item was working well. All of a sudden now I'm not selling anything whatsoever, unfortunately, on that there. My sports card singles are picking up lately.
Me too, which is a good thing, sure.
I did sell 2 items on Etsy, 1 item on Viv's Views, and I'm going to put an asterisk next to selling 1 item on $million.dollar.peddlers. I did sell 1 item. It got paid for, but one of the items I told you about last week did not get paid for.
Okay.
And I wonder if other people are noticing this as well. I definitely noticed this with your stuff. I go and I help Mr. Magazine Monday mornings, and once a week we put in for the unpaid items. There were a lot of them this past week. There were more, I think, than I've seen before. Right. There were an awful lot of them. And take the person that didn't pay on the $million.dollar.peddler comic book. They had 150 positives. I understand somebody with 0 positives. Yeah, they came on, they bought it. They just never followed through. They didn't know that they bought it. They didn't understand it made an offer. They didn't know how it worked. Whatever the case is. There were a couple of people that I was putting in canceling because they didn't pay, that had 6,000 positives. And it makes you wonder. And the other crazy thing about it is, not only are we putting in for it, but then you never hear from the people.
Right.
It's like, the person with 150 positives, I canceled it. Never heard from them whatsoever.
It's not like it's Christmas season or something crazy going on or a holiday weekend. It's March.
Yeah, we give them, on your stuff, we minimally give them 7 days. They get 7 to 13 days to pay.
I got to stop because every time we get to the important part in the road of the show, we got to make an announcement. The Magnificent Dawn is finally in the house. Thank you for coming. And you're never too late, so don't feel like you are.
Ruh-roh. So, yeah, I just think that's odd, and I wonder if other people are also noticing a lot of unpaid, because yours were...
Crazy. And again, I didn't know that, but it is nuts.
They were crazy, but they were also people with a lot of positives, and I try to hold off on those people because it's like, the guy's got 6,300 positives,
right? But
you never know what's going on either with them on that also.
Yep, you sure are.
How about buys with no money coming in? Is anybody out there buying anything? I know one person is.
Why would I ever stop at this point? Well, I have a bunch of out-of-town deals coming in this week. Some sellers are mailing me their stuff. We got Gil going to New Jersey and Ohio this weekend. I'm going to see him tomorrow, I think, with a few deals. So, we even changed a bit. We're still buying like crazy.
Nice. Wonder if anybody else is buying anything. Tax season is upon us. Tax refunds. That was another point that I was going to bring up. Was I was wondering if we're not in that little lull before tax refunds come out to people, and so they don't have the extra money right now coming in, or if you're somebody that owes money on your taxes, you don't have the extra money also.
Yeah,
that could be that as well. Don't know. So I did go to an estate sale, a couple of estate sales. Okay. They both looked really good on paper. Unfortunately, you don't shop the estate sales on paper. I went to the one that I had mentioned. I might find a chance to go there during the day. I went there. There was still a line, 11 o'clock in the morning. They were still giving numbers out. Tiny little house, which I didn't realize at the time. So I ended up coming back later in the day. I think I don't know what I spent. I spent $33.50. Bought some old paper. They were asking $2 a piece for sheet music. I'm just like, well, where are you going? I think I bought one piece.
Forget it.
I went through the whole thing as I had a little bit of time and I bought one piece of sheet music. nothing much going on over there. Still on a buying hiatus. There you go. So glad I could put a face to Mr. Magazine. I listen to Vintage Life Mags on Amazon and see Mr. Magazine in all of them. Oh, good.
We do try.
I did end up getting a hand-colored print there, which was kind of interesting because that's not the kind of thing that I usually buy.
Mm-hmm.
But I could tell it was hand-colored. I could tell it was from the 1800s. I get home, did a little research on it. It was a religious one from about 1850s. So I found somebody else had one up on their own like art website for $125. So I priced mine at $125. I figured not bad for $1. I'd buy that for $1.
Who wouldn't?
Not buying, trying to liquidate my antique shop. Oh, nice, nice. It was going back to that estate sale. That was one of those estate sales that I'm glad that the people that run it are not easy to deal with, because they probably had, 400 pieces of sheet music and 545 records. And they wanted $1 each on the 45s and $2 each on the sheet music. And if this was the kind of person that dealt, I probably would have ended up spending, $250 and walked out of there with all of it and then kicked myself and said, what am I doing? So I'm glad that these are not people that deal, because there was no temptation to buy it because they wouldn't deal no matter what. So it's like, good. I'm not going to bog myself down with
less
junk.
stress. Sure. Yeah. Magnificent, sensible treasures in the house. And if I'm repeating myself, so is a magnificent Michelle.
And then I went to another sale on...
you were pretty busy.
On Friday over on Lake Avenue. Another in-home dental office. I don't know what the thing is with Rochester. People having dentist offices in their houses.
Cheap rent.
It's something or other. It looked really good on paper. Another one of those. I show up. I'm like, there's going to be a line out the door. I parked on the next street over because you know how Lake Avenue is a busy street. Parked on the next street over. I walk over. Walk right in. There's like 4 people in the entire place. I spent $8. I said, well, what am I wasting my life for doing this kind of things? I'm debating whether to go to the estate sale. Go. Why not?
What else you got to do?
20 vintage baseball hats.
Very cool.
Nice. Yeah. Are they branded hats, or are they like sports hats, or are they like merchandising hats? Or the old trucker, what do they call them?
Mesh ones. Yeah.
Mesh, yeah. Cool. Very cool. I have been staying ahead of my buys though for once in my life, so the death piles are slowly starting to go down.
So jealous.
Well, the only problem is, that I fill the boxes in with stuff that sells. When I sell stuff out of a box, I fill it in.
Yeah.
When you're not selling anything, you got nowhere to put the stuff in as you list it.
Yeah.
Not working out. You should do a show on what was your biggest or largest purchase for resale. I will write that down. We can do that. Thank you very much. You talk for a minute while I'm writing this down. I write fast.
So the magnificent Lewis is in the house. And where he's coming from, they just don't have estate sales.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry
and
about
Don
that.
doesn't have any either. So Paperboy, sorry about that as well.
Well, you could drive down here, but for these couple of sales I went to, you don't want to. Oh, cigarette advertising. Okay, very cool. Very cool. Going to be going to one sale this coming weekend only because it's that warehouse sale that I went to. And in 2 weeks, he has them back-to-back weekends. In 2 weeks, I might be sitting here telling you that I bought 500 books for $5, which is really what I do not need to do. So not much on the buying side. I did have another question. Do you remember back a few weeks ago, a month and a half ago, where I had said I bought a bunch of stuff at the house call? A few different times I went to the same house call.
Sure, I remember that.
And the guy's got my number, and he's called me a couple times. I've come back. I know he's still got, I mean, there are 10,000 books there, something other like that. It just makes you wonder, and I'm wondering, you've wondered this as well. What happens to the stuff? There's no chance.
Give it away, throw it out.
There's no chance anybody came and bought all the rest of the books.
They're not going to pay to store it. Forget it.
No. They want to sell the house. They've got all these books there.
There must be someone they know on a mailing list or something that can say, hey, just take these. And whether they're into them or not, they're going to buy them and bring them to a flea market and dump them or something.
Something, yeah. It just makes you wonder what happens to all these things. Because, I would go back and I'd pick it again and I'd spend $50 and grab 5 boxes of stuff. I'm sure there's good stuff there. Might as well go, huh? Yeah, there you go. Don't want to use the gas. Yeah, don't even get me there.
Well, I would call you the Magnificent John Jones.
He named himself. Wait a minute. Wasn't that a Seinfeld episode? Can you make up your own nickname?
You shouldn't be able to.
No, right? I remember you're not allowed to do that. Oh, everybody's second favorite feature, glitch of the week. You have a glitch.
Which one was this?
You told me about it.
Oh, God, I hate being on a spot like this.
When you called eBay. You called eBay last Thursday.
Oh, for the photo glitch. Yeah. Yes, we did have an issue. So, got an email first from eBay regarding
that happened last week. We talked on the show. You'd gotten a violation.
The violation on the adult photograph, and it must have been Thursday, the day after the show. We had ended up calling them.
Yep.
And they said, well, it's in the wrong photo category. It's in photographic images art. And I had to think about this for a minute, and I thought you could put them in any category anyways, but there's only 3 that they allow you to put cheesecake, 50s photos, nudes in there. So I'm looking at all the listings I pull up. We got like 1,600 photos. And I remember calling eBay before we even put one photo on to make sure we're on the up and up and we don't, cross the line or do anything they don't want us to do. So I'm looking, it's in the correct category. It's like there's a nudes one, there's a cheesecake one, or collectibles photographs one, but you can't put it in photographs art. And I said, well, I just looked in 10 of the listings and they're all in the right category. So how is my employee that was only taught to use one category using photographs art? They said, well, hold on, let me check with you. Put us on a hold. 5 minutes later, they come back. You are right. There was a glitch where a bunch of photos got pushed into the photographs art category. So no problem. They retracted the violation. They apologized. They gave us a ticket number. If it happens again, we can call them.
Nice.
And we are not on the cuff of getting kicked off eBay again.
Nice. And they gave us the fodder for glitch of the week. So thank you, eBay.
Can't wait till next week.
For the next glitch.
Why do I have to be the guinea pig every week, though?
You're just lucky, I guess. Oh, you haven't said hi to 1987?
Hold on. Let me go down. Magnificent 1987 Ventures. Tracy, what's up? Is that good?
That was very good. That was very good.
All right. That was good. All right, and let's go to the Magnificent Lori.
Yeah, and that kind of brings up, we're going to talk about that a little later on. So I will bring that up shortly. Couple of other quick things over here. Did you see what site change eBay is talking about doing? They had talked to the investors, and they're going to allow people to have a wallet to buy stuff in. In other words, you know how essentially, remember how you used to be able to buy stuff out of your PayPal? Yep. And, you got paid via PayPal, you bought stuff out of PayPal, and I did a video right when I got stuck into managed payments. And that was the one thing that I was asking eBay. I said, let us spend the money out of the money that comes in. Sure. Because if that money is sitting there and it never hits my bank account, I can treat it more like mad money. Yeah. Once it hits into the bank account, it's earmarked for bills. It's my money at that point. It's the whole concept when you're at the casino and you win chips. They're just chips. It's the same kind of deal. Sure. It's money that you can spend on the site. And so they're going to be moving in that direction finally, where you can actually buy stuff off of stuff that you get paid, which I think is a really, really good idea. But it was funny because e-commerce bites, they were on there saying, what kind of sucker would do that? And I'm thinking, well, me. So, but I think it's a really good idea because again, it makes it so much easier where you make a big sale, you see something that you want, you put something on, you make a big sale, you get the money, you spend it right away, as opposed to now it's going into my bank account, now I'm pulling it into PayPal, now I'm paying it. Why do all those extra steps?
Well, maybe
there's no need
control
for it.
The reserve that you want to keep in there.
Yeah, right. Yep. Yeah, that's exactly what they're talking about. It's essentially layaway is essentially what it is. eBay layaway is essentially what it is.
Make more money that way maybe because maybe more impulse buying because you got money in your account.
Oops. Sales have been horrible. Zero yesterday and $30 today. Ouch. Well,
not magnificent.
I had a sale yesterday. We're into this little bit of a show here with customer issues, and you've got a doozy and I got a doozy this week on customers. Glitches of the week. I can only
remember what the doozy is.
Well, my doozy. So we were at the doctor yesterday. Now, just before I went to the doctor, a gentleman made offers on 2 Pennsylvania Farmer magazines. I accepted them both, and sent them an invoice. Went off to the doctor. Suddenly, I get an email, request to cancel an order.
Right.
Okay. Then he emails and says, I don't want two of the same issue. I want two different issues. Cancel one of them. I'm like, okay. Now I'm on my phone. I'm trying to talk with the doctor or whatever, so I'm not spending a lot of time on it. I said, fine, no problem. I wouldn't have accepted your $15 offer on it if I knew you only wanted one, but fine, whatever. So I get back home and start reading the email, and he goes, well, I just don't want two of the same issue. Do you have other ones? And I said, yeah, I do. So I sent him a list of the other ones I had. I said, I've got these. You can substitute any one of them, no problem whatsoever. This morning I get up, and he didn't reply to me. So I canceled the order.
Right.
As I'm canceling the order, I want you to listen to me, and I want you to answer this question.
Okay.
Is May 16th and June 13th, are those the same issues?
I would say no.
They were not the same issues. I'm like, what is this guy talking about? So I canceled it. He emails me today and says, yeah, I want to buy. I said, yeah, no problem. He bought the exact same two issues. So he canceled it yesterday, bought the same order again today. So I don't know what is going on. Now, here is your doozy of the week. Mr. Magazine got a guy who purchased something or other and sent an email. Hi there, before I pay for this item, I have an unusual query. I purchased a bunch of magazines from you back in 2018. One of the magazines I received was the wrong issue. The photo was of this one issue, but instead I got a different issue. I contacted you and you agreed to put aside the correct issue for my next order. And he did not request a refund, so now he wants you to send the correct magazine that you've had sitting away in the corner since 2018.
He's ready for a next order. Just having 4 years apart. What are you going to do?
Do you remember where you put that magazine at 4 years ago?
I mean, I think I did layaway with FAO Schwartz about 7 years ago. I put $10 down on a Yoda statue. Maybe they still have it. I can, pay the rest now. I don't know. Jeez.
Yeah, I definitely think you can list the Snap-on calendars.
Yeah, for sure.
Yep. I would. I sell girly calendars now, no nudity or anything, but the bikini kind and that kind of thing regularly, and never had a problem whatsoever with that. Yeah. I just sold ATV filter for $49, went to purchase shipping, and for some reason went to UPS next day air for $49. Ow!
Oof, that's the only way you could ship it? Wow.
Well, somebody,
eBay.
Somebody or other, and I forget where it was that I read this at, somebody else had a similar glitch where their screen said post office and the label came out UPS. So they were having some problems going on with that kind of thing. Crazy. Yeah, so those were our customer issues for the week. Wanted to, was it Doing It Right last week that was talking to us about the changes in the postal rates, the $4, the overcharges and all that. Yeah. And it is a $4 and $15 surcharge depending upon the size. But here was the other interesting surcharge that I saw in there that I haven't seen anybody talking about. There is a $1.50 additional surcharge if you put in the wrong dimensions on an oversize. Oh. So that was pretty much the entire thing that they said. Logically, the way that I read that is, say I've got a 28-inch item and I put down that it's 12 inches, I'm going to get a surcharge. I'm thinking that if it's a 28-inch item and I put in 30 inches, I'm not going to get a surcharge logically, because I think it's, yes, my dimensions are wrong, but they're still oversized, and I was paying for that.
What if your three sides are all wrong? Is it $4.50?
No, I think it's just $1.50 total.
That's probably worth it then. Yeah, you can't lose out there. The problem is they're complicating things for themselves, and now they have to catch more problems.
Slows everything up.
Well, and how much do they really catch? Because, I mean, if I'm shipping 300 items a day, some are probably too much postage on it, some don't have enough, it might average out, and they only catch a couple weekly, so
well, I guess
they're not really looking out for it.
Well, I guess the problem is that these are things that need, they can't be machined. They have to be, they screw up the machine, so they got to be pulled out. Right. So I guess if they're pulling them out anyway, then they're looking at them, and they're hitting you with the surcharges. So, but I found that to be a little bit interesting. Oh, there you go. Woo! Not coming next day. Yeah. Got some good news for Mr. Magazine.
Oh, it's about time.
Oh, please.
We're separating.
No. So I had today off of work, and I was all excited. I'm going to get up. I'm going to list a bunch of stuff, this and that, this and that. I had a whole day planned of things I was going to do. All of a sudden, I get a phone call, and the happy handyman contacts me.
Okay.
You around? Yeah. Can I put in your attic stairs?
Oh.
I said, sure. 5-hour job, believe it or not, to put in attic stairs.
Okay.
There was a lot to it. He had to
Sure.
shim some stuff up, change some things, et cetera, et cetera.
Right.
But the good news is,
You start taking boxes.
if you start coming over and bringing a box every Wednesday, I will get them listed and put up in the attic. So that is some good news.
If I put in 52 boxes in my truck, I can drop off one a week. Okay.
It's something. It's
We're
something.
halfway there. Maybe a third to halfway there.
It's a journey of 1,000 miles. So that's some good news. So while he was here, I didn't really, because, he would from time to time ask me to help him and everything like this. So I didn't really want to get into like listing and all that kind of stuff. So I ended up finally biting the bullet and finishing my taxes today. And 2 weeks from now, we're going to give some numbers. I'm shell shocked. I'm going to say this. I owe a lot of money. And I paid a lot of money to the IRS this year. Well, I didn't pay enough money to the IRS this year, but I am shell shocked.
It doesn't sound good for me at all.
And of course, the real problem is I don't have no sales coming in right now. So here I am going, wait, I got to pay the IRS and I've got no money coming in. And oh, by the way, it's almost time for estimated taxes. I've got to increase my estimated taxes and I don't have any money coming in. Yeah, exactly.
Yep.
The other thing that I wanted to ask you, did you see the video that I put up yesterday?
Oh, you're talking to me?
So basically, I'm sure a lot of people out there saw it. I thought it was a pretty good video out there. Captain America number 100. CGC, I forget what it was now. I did buy it at Heritage.
Ooh.
I think it was 7.5, but watch the video if you want to know for certain.
Okay.
One in December sold for $1,000. One in like November or October sold for around 600, 500, 700 they were selling for.
Yeah.
One in the middle of January sold for 700.
Okay.
One 2 weeks ago sold for $700. So as I was explaining on the video, I put don't let them steal it bids on stuff. So I basically bid $400 with buyer's premium.
Yeah.
I won it.
Wow.
That was exactly what I said.
Very cool.
Very
Gotta be
cool.
half price, right?
Yeah, but very scary.
Yeah.
Very scary. I feel bad for the consigner. Although, as I was telling my father, I made the consigner money because I bid. It would have went for even less if I hadn't bid. But that kind of got me thinking about changing the topic for today, which is we'll be talking about in a few minutes over here about moves you need to make now and what's going on, the direction over the next few weeks. But that was the reason why I wanted to change it, because if all of a sudden a book sells for $700, 2 weeks later sells for $400. But here's the crazy thing about it. A 6.5, the same day that I bought the 7.5 at $400, a 6.5 sold on eBay for $600.
Crazy.
It's just crazy the way these prices are going, and I don't
be patient, really.
Yeah, it is absolutely insane. Yeah, be very. Even drinking this is a problem when we're with my lack of depth perception.
True.
That is very true. Did do a little bit of a follow up on stuff. So I was figuring out that I probably have somewhere between 25 to 40,000 unlisted items, realistically. You realize that if I could do 40 items a day when I'm retired, that's about two and a half years worth of listing only.
Well, it's funny. Our friend from Pittsburgh's got about the same, I think, 30 to 40,000 unlisted items. You guys are similar sizes, right? I think.
Yeah.
Give or take. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Well, thank you, Laurie. Definitely do appreciate it. I hope you hit the like button and hit the like button on this one too while you're at it. Definitely would appreciate that. A couple of other quick little updates. So last week before the show, I edited 3 items just because I didn't want to do any heavy lifting. One of those 3 items sold. It had been something that had been listed since 2012.
Okay.
I edited it. I changed like a word in the title.
Mm-hmm.
It sold.
Wow.
So I know that a lot of people talk about, ending items selling similar, and I'm sure that works as well. But I definitely did want to bring up that, just moving around the order of things in the title, adding a word to the title. I even sometimes change capitalization on something. Of an old item, I may not have capitalized something. Now I capitalize it. I throw one extra word in it, and things sell that way. Well, right now nothing's selling, but things sell that way as well. So hopefully that'll help you as well. If you don't want to do the sell similar, that'll work as well. Yeah, hit the like button. I wanted to go off screen for a moment. Got a comic book over here, G.I. Joe. I want to show it to Mr. Magazine, and what is your idea of the grade of that? Do you see any big flaws with that?
No, it's definitely in the 9s, I would say.
All right. This comic book right over here, G.I. Joe Special Helix. Do you remember last week the person on Amazon that said that terrible packing job because it got folded in half? That was the comic book they returned.
And where did it get folded in half?
I was going to ask you the very same thing.
Okay.
So they basically sent back a near mint comic book because it had been folded in half. And here's the funny thing about it. Not only did they send the comic book back, but they sent it back. And I don't know the name of they're the special cardboard that boxes that people put the comic books in.
Yeah.
They cost about $1.50 a box.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. They're cardboard, but they got these little...
They got like the
diamond,
slot
they
in the
look like,
center.
like triangular slits and stuff, yeah.
They're about $1.50
cool.
a box.
Yeah.
The gentleman sent the comic book back to me in one of those.
Wow.
I did not send it to him in that.
Yeah.
Now, maybe he sent it back to me to show me.
So you sent it to him. He got buckled like a taco.
Mm-hmm.
He sends it back
and it
in better condition and in a better box. Hey, win-win for you. Yeah.
So maybe he was just trying to show me how I should have sent it to him so it didn't end up
Maybe he taught you
damaged.
a lesson. Well, maybe we should buy some of those boxes just to have them.
Or maybe I should just send him off condition comics and keep sending back better ones.
Nothing wrong with that.
I have $5 watchers on a radio. Will it ever sell? Or 85 watchers. Oh, my goodness gracious. That's impressive.
Yeah.
That is very, very impressive. All righty. We're going to head on into the main topic a little earlier than usual today, but I think this is a really, really important topic. And so next week we'll be talking about the buying network, and the weekend after we're going to talk all about numbers. So those should be some pretty good shows as well. Now, we try to be a very positive show. We're not the sky is falling people. We're not bashing, all the sites people. That isn't what our show is, but it's scary out there.
It is, yeah.
What would you attribute that to?
Well, the economy, I would think right now. But I mean, even, the war going on, gas prices, those are the two things you hear most of all. But even, above and beyond that, car prices are crazy. Housing is crazy. So, people don't have extra money to buy magazines or toys or whatever they're looking to buy when they normally have, extra mad money. So that's definitely, I think, the reason, is. But, and hopefully it'll get better soon.
Well, a friend reached out to me, was talking to me, and he's going to be going down to Florida. And a few days ago, he bought his ticket to Florida. He bought it like on a week ago, Monday night. He checked again Tuesday. And now for 2 tickets, not for one, but for 2 tickets, it would have cost him $800 more.
Oh.
Yeah, so $400 a ticket more, but he bought it Monday night instead of waiting until Tuesday.
Jeez.
That's serious money. That's big boy money on stuff.
Of course, yeah.
Thank you.
Appreciate it always.
Yeah, sales are abysmal. I sold 7 items over 2 days. And that Captain America comic, again, I was very happy to win it. And long term, I'll do well on it. But that kind of scared me. Just winning it at that scared me, because you're just wondering, is everybody heading for the exits? And
well, if the whole market turns like that comic turns, and you and me are sitting on thousands of comics just like that, we're losing stock, so to speak. So yeah, that's definitely scary.
So I guess my first opinion to people out there, I think a lot of people want to stay liquid. One Well, they ship internationally through GSP. Some of our listings changed to ship directly to. Oh. Yep. I wonder if that's not because now you can't do it GSP, and so they just automatically said, "Oh, you can't do it this way," and then it switched over. Wow, that's crazy. Sorry, we now join the comment originally in progress.
Wow.
It's just, yeah, you're right, and the absolute crazy thing is, inflation just hit a 30 or 40-year high, whatever it was. I just read that in the news.
Mm-hmm.
And the best thing to do logically in high inflation times, there's two logical things to do. Number one, you want to take out as many loans as you possibly can at low fixed rates because you're going to be paying them back with cheaper money.
Yeah.
Number two, you want to spend the money because it can buy more today than it can buy tomorrow. Those are the two logical things to do with inflation.
Mm-hmm.
Yet what seems to be happening is people are not spending their money right now. I'm wondering too if it's not they're getting their home heating bills, and those are through the roof.
Brutal.
The gas is through the roof, so they don't have any extra money at this point. Is what I fear is what's happening. And so again, like you said, and they don't know when it's going to end. And do I want to buy a couple of magazines from Mr. Magazine, or do I want to make sure I have extra money just in case gas goes to $6 a gallon?
Definitely.
It's frightening on things. So I think the first thing I would suggest is pulling back on buys unless they are absolute killer buys. We've always talked about trying to stay away from the mediocre buys, and we're trying to stay away from those. But I think now more than ever, you definitely want to do that. You don't want to bog yourself down and stuff, especially if it's not selling.
Right.
Why bog yourself down in common stuff? Because no matter what,
True.
Today, 6 months ago, 6 months from now, you're going to be able to buy a lot of common stuff. It's out there. There's a reason why it's called common stuff.
Yeah. I had a guy that sold me.
Sorry, I don't mean to interrupt you.
Food is crazy.
Not only is it through the roof, Mrs. Papergoy works at a grocery store, and I went shopping the other day. I went to pick her up from work, and I went shopping. I've never seen so many empty spaces, especially like in the freezer aisle.
Oh, yeah.
There are just, nothing is in stock. Yeah. Things are unstocked. It's just insane.
Yeah. Low supply, high demand. It's crazy.
But go ahead, you were saying.
You said a gentleman, I bought, I don't know, thousands of car magazines and magazines from him a few years ago. I think he's like an hour away. He goes, I found 4 more thousand. If you want them for $200, come get them.
Oh.
And I know it's average stuff. It's a hell of a deal. I just said, honestly, I'm too busy to come get them right now. I go, if you're willing to deliver them, I will pay you certainly to deliver them. I don't have a lot of room for this stuff. I don't need this stuff as much as I'd like to, take advantage of a great deal.
Price. Wow. Yep.
Or it's one of those things. Maybe when Gil's coming back around, he can stop in and say, "Hey, he'll give you the 200 and whatever he's got left in his truck, load up." I don't know, so I'll think about that tomorrow. But it's one of those things where it's a great deal. I have no room. We'll never list it probably, but you got to move on sometimes. So.
Yeah, but when I'm talking about mediocre deals, that's a mediocre deal, but that's a giveaway price,
right?
And so
you're talking about pennies per magazine.
Yeah, 5 cents a magazine. Yeah, how do you not?
Yeah.
And as it was alluded to earlier, a good friend of the channel, Don Auction Professor, had a video where eBay Canada has done away with a lot of the zero insertion fees. And if I remember right, what he had said was, and I think we all kind of, nothing official is coming in the USA site at this point, but I think we all kind of knew they were going to raise fees on us, unfortunately. And then postage is everything's going up, unfortunately, on things. But basically, what they're going to be doing, supposedly, and again, this is just based off of what he had said, was going to where you're going to end up with a store. The anchor store is going to have 25,000 items as part of it, which still is a better deal than it used to be, because it used to be 10,000 items, and now it's 25,000. So it's still a better deal than it had been.
They're forcing you. If you can take advantage of it, take advantage of it. If you have 20,000 listings, you can add 10. If you're able to do so, why not do it? But
I guess the problem that I see, and where things are kind of tough, we were talking a little earlier about a mutual friend of ours who's up at 49,000 items. he was around 10,000 items back a couple of years ago. Now he's at 50,000 items. If they sit there and if they do that, that's a huge increase. I was running the numbers. If it's a nickel per item, that's going to be $1,200 extra per month in fees for him.
Maybe that's one of the reasons he's trying to sell out.
For me, it's an additional, assuming that goes through like that, and then I have to upgrade to an anchor store. It's $200 a month. It's not the end of the world for me.
How about Enterprise?
They didn't say anything at all about the prices on that. No. And again, this is only Canada, and it has not come out officially for United States or anything like that.
Yeah.
But you got to kind of see the writing on the wall. You got to see that might be what ends up happening. Is that being an extra $200 a month in expenses if it goes through for me, and it'd be more for other people.
Sure. That's
tough. I mean, that's another $200 you got to make up, and when you're not having any sales, it's really, really easy to get down. I mean, I will admit, you've known me for a long time. I'm not a mopey person. And I was moping around today like you wouldn't believe, between no sales, taxes, and all that kind of stuff. I was not a happy person today. Saw a video of a trucker filling up his 18-wheeler. Oh, $1,100. Oh.
Yeah, and that's partly the reason food is so expensive, just to transport. Anything transported is going to cost a ton more to deliver it.
Oh, $1,100. That's, wow. Makes my $40 fill-up or $50 fill-up or whatever it is. Disposable income is down for the average collector. Big collectors will still buy. Average collectors are playing close to the vest because of inflation concerns.
True.
Right. And the comic book that I was talking about that I got from Heritage, the Captain America 100, I would call it a minor key. It's not Amazing Fantasy 15. It's not Action Comics #1. It's a minor key. I mean, if you're into Bronze Age and, comics, or I guess technically that's Silver Age. Right. If you're into Silver Age comics, yeah, you want to get Captain America. Yeah, you want to get the first appearance of Falcon. Then you want to get that one. So it's it's a key, but it's not a huge key. So it's not
Right.
I think the Amazing Fantasy 15s I think are continue to keep their value no matter what.
Sure. Oh yeah. Absolutely.
But then you get into these other things, you're like, what the heck? People want liquidity right now. So drive a hard bargain when you're buying. I think that's important. Don't spend all of your money right away. Be willing to make that offer. Be willing to, I hate to say lowball, but lowball them. Unless, obviously if it's really good stuff, it's a different story. But, if I'm sitting there and I'm buying all the stuff and then nothing is selling, what good's it doing me?
Yeah.
Especially because I'm blessed with 25 to 40,000 backstock items anyway.
Right.
I don't need to buy for the next year. And then my expenses will be lower and I'll owe more in taxes. Hey, wait a minute.
Yeah.
See, vicious circle.
And for me, other than the last week or so with Amazon sales dipping a little bit, over the last 2 years, Amazon's been blowing eBay out of the water for me. I put more stock into it, but it might be one of those things where each year eBay loses some customers and Amazon gains them. Maybe they gain them at Christmas season and it's a vicious cycle. I don't know, but maybe that's going to happen. eBay loses a bunch of customers up until Christmas. Amazon takes them all away. Who knows?
Oh yeah, just-in-time flipping. Yeah, definitely. I've seen that they're changing the estimates of how much money you should have in your retirement. They're talking now that you should retire out with $4 million in your 401k. Who's going to be able to get $4 million in their 401k? That's difficult, to say the least. Seriously, have to rethink my business. Yeah, probably be okay if normal sales come back, but if eBay keeps losing customers, might just try to go another direction. Tough choice. Yeah. And that's the whole thing too. I mean, it's one of the reasons why, granted, I'm not going gangbusters by any means, but that's one of the reasons why I moved over onto Etsy a little bit too. It's just another site, and again, I'm selling 2 items a week, or item to 2 items a week, but it's an item to 2 items a week that I'm moving out that I have sitting around anyway.
Yeah.
It helps a little bit because with eBay's down, that's 2 extra items there, 1 extra item over here, 2 extra items over here. It's making up a little bit for the lost eBay, very little bit, but it's only going to grow also. Right. That's the other thing.
Sure.
So you don't have all my eggs in one basket, basically.
Yeah.
I will send you a screenshot of the charted changes for Canada. Oh, thank you. Definitely do appreciate that. Probably don't want to see it, but I do appreciate it.
Mm-hmm.
I drive truck long haul in California, $6.48 a gallon for diesel.
Brutal.
Oh my goodness gracious! You better accept it.
Yeah.
Oh, it's crazy. There's a problem I have. I don't know what to offer. I get caught up trying to work the numbers out in my head. Yeah, that's always a problem, and nobody ever wants to give you the first price, and that's where you just got to get the idea, like we've talked about in the videos before, just kind of know that, just a random box of books is going to be 10 to 15 bucks of what you're going to pay on it.
Right.
A long box of comics, 30 bucks is a fair price, fair starting price. Then you move from there, down if you're buying a lot of volume, and up if it's better stuff.
Sure.
Postcards or whatever postcards are, a couple of cents a piece, something other like that, and go from there. A sale's a sale. eBay account can grow fast. Yeah, no, you're right. You definitely do have to make the sales, no doubt at all about it. But I wrote down here, it's a tightrope. I mean, you want to spend money with the inflation so you get the value today, but you need to have money for your bills. Your gas, your heat, your food, and you noted here, went to the supermarket half empty. I mean, it's
crazy.
It is, and we've been through it before. We've been on eBay since I think 1998, and we've been selling since. I think you started selling in 2000. I started selling in 2002.
Yeah.
So we've been through any number of downturns, and this is feeling like another downturn. And if you can hold steady, and if you can keep your spirits up, and that's the hardest thing of all, but if you've got backstock and you can keep your spirits up and you list into the downturns, you'll do okay because you're still listing new stuff, which will be selling, but you'll be really well positioned when you come out of it.
Right.
Sure. Because some of your competition will get dissuaded and will not be listing. They'll just close up shop. You'll probably find yourself, if you've got local competition, you may find yourself buying your competition out. Because they just, for whatever reason, I can't do this anymore, or they need the money, or whatever the reason is, they may just dump all of their inventory cheap.
Yeah.
And if you are in a position where you're able to buy it and you're able to list into it, you will do very, very well long term. But I will tell you, from having been through this before, it's a grind. And the absolute hardest thing to do is to keep listing. You have to do it. But when you list, 50 new items and nothing sells out of those 50, and you only sell 3 items out of your backstock, and the next day you list 50 more items and you sell 2 items out of your backstock, it's real easy to walk away and get dissuaded and say, what am I doing this for?
Yeah, true.
And that's where just sticking to it definitely will pay off in the long run, because most people will not stick to it. So, look, I turned my frown upside down. They gave me lemons and I made lemonade. But that definitely is what you need to do, is you just need to focus on the long term and realize that listing a lot today, even if it's not selling today, it will sell tomorrow.
Sure.
Is what it comes down to. I have premium, so either I unload quick a lot of my low price stuff and stay under, 10K, or upgrade to anchor level. That's tough. And when we end up seeing the numbers, assuming it happens in the USA, which I think that it probably will, you can work that out too. Look at the chart Don sent you. Oh, well, you got to talk for a minute.
About those Yankees. So, did you know the unvaccinated Mets and Yankees can't play in their home stadiums?
I did read that. I'm trying to find this.
Was it like that? It must have been like that last year then, right?
Oh, here we go. Here's the chart she sent me.
Moving on.
Store tier. New zero insertion. So basic goes from 350 fixed price to 1,000 fixed price. Premium goes from 1,000 fixed price to 10,000. And anchor goes from 10,000 to 25,000 fixed price. But you're losing the zero insertion fee stuff that you had before. So that's, So eBay Canada's 100,000 insertion fee allocation has been extended and will now end on March 31st, 2022. And then effective April 1st. So they're not giving them much notice at all. Right. That's 2 weeks. That's 2 weeks out from now. Yep. So basically, you're going to be in better shape than you were, because you're going to better shape than you were before managed payments, in that the anchor store will have 25,000 instead of 10,000. But you're not in as good a shape as you were with all the zero insertion fees. Right. So that's only in Canada. But I'm sure they'll bring it up. But there wasn't any mention there of enterprise store whatsoever, even on that level. So thank you very much, Don. Definitely do appreciate that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Be patient, buy smart, keep listing. There will be deals through all this. People will start selling some good stuff. Great buying opportunities will be coming. Absolutely true. Absolutely true on that. I agree with you on that. I think the faster you get into your bunker mentality, that's the other thing that I wrote down. I think the better off you'll be. Just see what's coming. Be nimble. I think that's another very, very important thing. Be nimble. Have money available, and whether it's money or whether it's a home equity line of credit or whatever it happens to be, have money available to you, because again, like Michael says there, you never know what might come along.
Yeah, you need a reserve amount of buying cash, some buying power. Yeah, exactly.
So to that end, if we all can pledge to stop buying the mediocre stuff and taking the money that we would be spending on the mediocre stuff and sticking it away into the mason jars, then you've got something or other. You'd hate to be in a position where a year from now, some $10,000 deal comes along that's just a deal of a lifetime, and you don't have the money because you piddled away $150 here, $300 here, $500 here on really low-end stuff that you probably shouldn't have bought.
Sure.
So definitely be a lot more selective in what you buy.
Yeah, I mean, my competition around the corner, we've been looking at his sales, and they're dismal. He's probably 80% off the norm. And think about it. Is he going to be buying at a higher level like he used to when he had money coming in? So, I mean, I could take advantage of that situation and buy a lot more because he may not be able to afford it and want to invest time and money into it. If his stuff's not selling as it is, why are you buying more of the same stuff?
Well, and the other thing, too, is even the good deals are less good when you don't have money coming in. I mean, when you get down to it, you've got bills, you've got things you have to pay, you don't have the money coming in, and now all of a sudden what in the past you consider to be a good deal, you're hesitant to pull the trigger on because you're thinking, I don't know about it.
You don't want to buy a scared pile deal. You want to buy a quick flip deal or, high dollar deals, so.
Or some definite long term. And it's funny because I wrote down over here, bargain hunting time for buying. So it's there are definitely tremendous opportunities coming. You just have to remain nimble. You have to keep some level of cash, and you just need to be prepared to move on a dime if need be. Change what you're doing on a dime if you need to.
So be nimble and quick like Jack.
Yes.
Okay, gotcha.
Yep.
All right.
He threw me all off right there. A lot of people get out of reselling because they can't juggle it. Also, space, time, and spouse. Yeah,
continuum.
No, definitely true.
Space, time, continuum. Yeah.
Space, time, spouse, continuum.
Exactly. Yep.
I had a buy that would max me out and would make 4 times my money. Still backed out because of the timing. Yeah. No, you're right. I mean, unless the only way I would say that you would be wrong is if it was 4 times your money on very, very quick flip. But if it's something or other like the typical longer tail stuff like us, you got to stay away from that kind of deal right now.
Yeah, absolutely.
17,000 common card listings.
Yeah.
Another thing. So I ended up winning that comic book on Heritage, and in the video I had mentioned that what I do at the auctions is I put in "Don't let them steal" them bids. That was what that bid was. It was a $400 bid.
Sure.
Don't let them steal. So I went into Heritage this week. I actually lowered my "Don't let them steal" them bids because I said I really don't necessarily want to win this stuff because it's mediocre stuff. So whereas before I would have bid $120 on it, not letting them steal it.
Yeah.
Now I'm bidding $101. And I'm saying if somebody wants it for $110, they can have it.
Right.
101 is still a very good deal. 120 is still a good deal, but I don't really want it. Do you know why I bid 101?
Well, they would have to bid, 110 or more?
A lot of people will bid 100.
Oh,
I bid 101, just figuring, hey, there's an opportunity.
It's going to cost them 10 more bucks if they want it or whatever the next.
Logically, a lot of people bid $100. So if I'm in at 101, then, or they bid 101 trying to get cute, and I'm the first one bidding it.
Yeah.
I got it there. So I guess I'm sort of hedging my bets, but still hoping to win stuff.
Sure.
Passing several lately that were good, just not wanting money tied up right now. Yeah, and what you'll potentially find, Michelle, is those people may still have the stuff to sell. They may come back to you. I mean, how many times have you had people come back to you and actually lower their price on things?
Yeah.
Just because nobody else wants it.
They're done driving around and getting turned down or lowball.
Yeah, so it's definitely definitely tremendous opportunities for us out there. We just got to be really, really smart about it, and we have to have some level of backup cash available to us, or loans, or whatever the case happens to be. All righty. Oh, we see another big comment there, and we'll get into it. Yep. Oh, and relist. You get old stuff. Yep. Yeah, it's crazy. It's just crazy. Yeah. Head on into the rambling story of the week. Did you want to continue your amazing trilogy of the floor?
Yeah, I could. I got the Cliff Notes ready for everyone. But before I get into the rambling story, I would like to say this is the first episode in months that we've not heard about those precious Win magazines. Maybe they're done. Are they in the past now?
No, believe it or not, the gentleman in California who sends me magazines just sent me some magazines, and I just received them, and there were 3 Win magazines from the 1970s.
Wow. Okay.
So I will be listing those this week. So all of my fans that love Win magazines, there'll be 3 new ones coming up.
I don't know what I would do if someone brought a collection of those in. I would have to buy them and then think about, am I going to list them? Am I going to sell them? I don't want to sell them because then we'll have to hear about more sales and more Win magazines. But nevertheless,
everyone will win with those magazines.
Sure. So back to basement story part 2. Another weekend went by with more leaks in the same spot, getting very frustrated. So I told the floor guy, well, let's get all the other floors that don't have this issue done, and at least get those out of the way. I did contact 2 to 3 supposed basement floor, water experts. They came in, and they all had different ideas of what should be done, or they didn't know what they could do to solve it. So I'm still,
That's always good when none of the experts know what to do.
Well, they had suggestions. They were all different. All had different opinions on what to do. None of them knew really what to do. They're just saying, try this, try that. So what I'm doing at this point is I'm getting a new sub pump, whether I need it or not, because it was pretty run down. I'm going to have concrete seal the holes off. So now if the water can't seep out, there's some special concrete you can put on wet items, I guess, so wet floor. So we're going to seal all the holes off. So now if it does leak, hopefully it'll go underneath the slab and it'll drain. It'll follow through the drain because it tapers down and over. And then we'll test it out in a week. And then I could put waterproof flooring down like vinyl or something. And if that's, they could put a little vapor barrier. And I think that'll be good enough because it is a tiny leak. It's not going to flood my house or anything. So I think we can do away with that and solve the problem and move on. So there you go. Hydraulic concrete, just in time, was just in time. Helping me out there. Appreciate that.
Nice.
That's it.
Have you called just in time and asked him to come out and fix it?
No, but you are magnificent just in time.
You can give him throw a little work to him.
Ooh, a robo. Yeah, a robo will work. Yeah.
See? That's why we have the best fans out there. They're all trying to help you over there.
Appreciate that. Yeah.
If you pay just in time, you pay him mileage to come on out, pay his gas.
Yeah, it won't be too cheap, Sure.
It won't be bad at all. Is he the guy with the $1,100?
I'll tell you what, Gil can pick up on a way. He's leaving tonight. So,
all righty. Any final words for everybody out there?
Let's see. Well, he does know concrete. If you want to end on that.
Yeah, so I guess just to summarize, times are tough. Times are tough for all of us. Follow us on Instagram if you haven't already, just because. But
sure,
that is one thing that people are not shy, the resellers are not shy on Instagram at telling you what's going on. And that is one thing that I really do appreciate about it. How many people do you know? Well, you definitely see it with gamblers, but you can think of a couple of people in the card industry as well, dealers, that every time they got a box, they pulled a great thing. Every time they went gambling, they won something big.
They never had a bad show. Business is always great. It's just, it's the same guys over and over again. They just will never say average or bad, and it's how it is.
Well, that's the good thing about the Instagram is these people that I follow, and I don't even know who I follow. I just have, if you follow me, I follow you, and every once in a while I find somebody else to follow. They're all pretty honest about their sales. I mean, they're posting screenshots of their sales, and one guy on there says, I made $12 today. I sold this number. Here's what I paid for this stuff. I made $12. Where am I going essentially on that stuff? And it's good to see a lot of honesty from a lot of different people on there, because there would be nothing worse than tuning into it and again, seeing everybody's doing great, even whether they are or they're not, because there are some people that do have that.
Well, and during COVID, when money was, everyone had their accounts, fluffed up a little bit. There was a lot of money to spend. Everyone was doing great, and that's how it was. But it's not going to happen forever. There's going to be ups and downs, of course.
Yep. Yeah, and we definitely are entering into a uncharted territory, scary territory on that. So hopefully this video has helped you a little bit. Do hit the like button if you haven't done so already. If you're watching this on the replay, do comment down below on how your sales are and what's going on and what your tactics are. One last question for you. Now, you said you were running sales.
Yes.
Are they working? You said they're working somewhat?
My sales have increased a lot since I've had those sales in a month ago or so. But like I said, I'm selling stuff a little cheaper. Some higher end stuff's going a little cheaper, but we have more money coming in than we did a month or two ago. And I'd rather be in this position selling stuff for less, but getting more money coming in than selling less stuff and having less money coming in. So,
well, can I tell you real quick what my mindset is this week?
Sure.
You know that, and I haven't been able to enjoy this for the last couple of years, but you know that one thing that I really enjoy are vacations. Yeah. I like taking 4-day weekends. I like going away. And I've not really gone much of anywhere in a couple of years now. One of the downsides of a 4-day weekend, anything more than 4 days certainly, is you end up putting your store on hiatus. You put it on vacation mode, whatever it is, and you really don't have any sales. Or even on a 4-day, I'm really not taking hardly any offers whatsoever because I don't want to come back and have things going out late, et cetera, et cetera.
Right.
So what my mindset is this week, I just thought of this morning. I said, I've been on vacation this week. As crazy as that sounds. But if I tell myself I'm on vacation this week and my sales are low this week because I've been on vacation, it just happens. Because most years I do have a week or two that are really, really low because I'm gone for most of the week and I'm not taking offers. I've not had that in 2 years because I haven't gone anywhere for 2 years. So I've had strong sales all the way through. So I'm just, and I know I'm tricking myself, but it's what I got to do to sleep at night. I say, this is a vacation week. I've got low sales for vacation week. Now, if next week we're sitting here and I'm crying the blues, I guess I was on a 2-week vacation. I don't know. But do whatever you got to do in your head to keep you from getting down. Because, again, today was a tough day for me on that there between the sales, the taxes, not accomplishing a lot. Tough day for me. But you know something? Tomorrow's another day. Carpe diem. Seize the day. And click the like button. Have a great evening. We will see you next week.
Take care. Bye-bye.